Good afternoon, and welcome in everybody. How we all doing? It's your boy Ghost here. We missed y'all. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulties with our stream this week, and we do apologize for not having as much content out there as we would normally have for everybody this week, but the equipment, pardon me, has really been giving me a little bit of grief, so it looks like we may have finally got it all sorted out here. So we're back, and it is our usual programming schedule here on Saturday with the GTRC, the Gran Turismo racing community. Now we have, well, it's been an interesting season so far at the Gran Turismo racing community. Last week would have been typically our round 9 round for our GT4 championship, but of course we did something a little bit special for a community member, of course, last week with the Chibri race. So if you haven't seen that, of course head over to the YouTube channels and check that out. It's not available on the Facebook channel because, again, I was having issues with the stream for the last little bit and it crashed on Facebook, unfortunately, but that's alright, that's the way it goes. So Radicals, round 4. We're on the halfway point of our season here now. We're on the latter half, of course. It's only a 6-week series here, so one of the mini series. It's a fun series, so to speak, here at the GTRC. And it's going to be a 1-hour endurance race here today. There will be a stop, most likely. Tires, fuel is, I believe, 6 times tire and 5 times fuel, or the other way around. So it's a pretty good chance that tire wear is going to play a factor in the race here today. And I mean, we're at Big Willow. I mean, what can we say about Big Willow? But it's just an absolutely crazy racetrack. It's surrounded by dirt. You know, we all know Laguna Seca, much of the same thing. This one's on a whole new level. It is just a desert around this racetrack. And if you go off the track here at Big Willow, you can slide for a while. So we're going to take a look at our grid here and see what we see. I'm just keeping an eye on the streams here at the moment, everybody. Do keep me posted if something isn't quite working properly. We will, of course, do the best that we can to sort it out from my end. So far, so good. Knock on wood. Alright, how we all doing today? I hope everybody's had a fantastic week. It is the weekend. It's getting beautiful out there here in North America especially. It was a pretty nice sunny morning this morning, so we enjoyed a nice morning coffee on our deck in the sun and just enjoyed the sounds of nature this morning. Kind of a nice chance to sit there and have some time to think and clear the old noggin a little bit and de-stress from the week and break it all down and get prepared for the next week to come. So, well, I mean, what can we say? We got some interesting things happening here over the next few weeks. Obviously, we have WSR Porsche Cup as well, and then the IRL League, which will not be until next week for IRL. They're in an off week this week, so we'll do something a little fun tomorrow for the viewers. I'm not sure what it is exactly yet, but we're also going to be adding our Twitch channel into the program here as well now for the viewers. Obviously, due to our commentary work here over the last 18 months or so on Facebook and YouTube, and having that PG kind of mindset going on here on these platforms now, we kind of want to keep it that way. And when I get into just regular content that's outside of commentary, if we're just playing a different game or if we're just chilling with the group, things get a little risque on the stream at times. So we're going to separate that content. So all of our non-PG related content will be heading over to our Twitch channel specifically here moving forward. So just want to give everybody an update on that because we do work with so many communities. I figure we'll just keep setting it out there as we go. So we're going to remain to keep our Facebook and our YouTube platforms as a family-friendly platform here now moving forward in the future. I think that is a great thing. And again, you know, racing is a family sport in real life, so it really shouldn't be any different on the streams and in our racing leagues and in the game here as well. Everybody should be able to be involved, kids, adults, whether you're 90 years old or you're 9 years old. I think that it is something that everybody can enjoy, and I don't think that they should be limited to just a group of people to be able to sit back and enjoy and watch what we have here. So it looks like qualifying has started. Alright, so again, here at the GTRC, we don't use the in-game qualifying settings. We set a certain amount of hot laps for the drivers, and then they park at the end of turn 1 until all those drivers have completed that said amount of hot laps, and then we start the race from there. So the drivers are officially in qualifying here, so welcome in everybody, and I hope we're all ready for what should be a pretty exciting race here today at Big Willow. These Radicals are a spicy little car to drive, and this, even though there's a fair amount of room in width on this racetrack, there's kind of only one line around some of these corners, so side-by-side battling needs to be done very carefully here. We got Carson coming in with the thumbs up on the stream as well. I appreciate that. Thank you for all that support. Welcome in everybody over on YouTube as well. For some reason, I don't get my like alerts on YouTube, so if you have liked over there on YouTube, we appreciate it. If you haven't, do me a favor, smash that like button. Free to do, helps me grow. All right, so Doug Burrow's going to lead us out around Big Willow here, and this is officially a flying lap here. I don't know what to expect for times here today. I haven't really been on track in the Radical set side of things here, so I don't know what to expect here. Maybe some 17s, maybe some 18s, I'm not sure. We'll wait to see what Doug puts down here and then take it from there. And it's going to be an 18.5 for Hair Razor. Pigham's is going to take pole. Super's going to jump in second. I'm just trying to catch up here. We're a little rusty. Bar's going to go down into 6th. Let's see what Jakey's got as he comes around here, fresh off Nations Cup racing. He's going to move up into 6th place. We got Lone Ghost here in 9th place, and a great looking livery as always. And this is a driver who's been working really hard behind the scenes and improving his pace day by day. And excited to see him on track here, see what he can do against this group of drivers. He's going to stay in 9th, sorry, for the time being. Type R is going to jump up into 8th. Bo Snipe, another quick driver here. Let's see what Bo Snipe has as he comes around. And then we've got a new driver in the field here today, which is fantastic. We love to see that, and we'll get to him in just a moment's time here. But we're going to sit on board with Bo here as he's just about to cross that start-finish line here right now and see what he's got for a time. This should be a pretty good time here, I would assume. It is a P3. All right, TMB Brads. He's brand new here to the GTRC, so welcome into TMB Brads. An official GTRC welcome to this driver. He was in our tribute race last weekend, and he's decided to jump in the Radical Series here and have some fun with the group as well. So we're going to stay on board with Brads here and see what he can do. So this is, of course, like I said, the sim racing community is for everybody. This isn't just for a specific group of people or a specific style of racer. It is for racers of all skill levels. So if you are interested, if you're just a learning driver and you don't want to overwhelm yourself, the Gran Turismo racing community is a great place to be. We have a fun series and a more serious series that usually run beside each other, and the fun series is a really great opportunity to get in with the community and get in with the group of drivers and just practice with them and learn from them and drive with them and have a little bit of fun in the process, and you get some clean racing as well. So yeah, available to everybody. So if you've been sitting on the fence for a while thinking about organized sim racing, I highly recommend it. All right, so let's see what Brad's has got here. Again, there we go. That was a good time there. 119.8. It's good enough for 11th place here. So let's move back up through the field. Currently, we have Hair Razor sitting on pole at 17.4. Pigham's is sitting in 2nd place. We have Apex Racing's Bar 27 in 3rd place. We've got Doug Burrow in 4th. We've got Apex Racing's Jakey here in 5th. We've got Supra in 6th. We've got Bo in 7th. We've got Ash Motorsport here in 8th. Mr. Happy Pappy chilling in 9th place. We got Type R in 10th. We've got Brad's in 11th, and we've got Lone here in 12th position. All right. How's everybody doing today? Hope we're doing good. We're a little bit worried about our stream here today. We just have not had a good run with it here this week. And, you know, everything seems to be looking pretty good here today, so I think I can stop stressing about it a little bit here now, and we can, well, get to what's important, the race itself. So we're on lap 5, so the drivers will have 2 more hot laps after this one, and the Ghostbusters car now sitting in 3rd place. So Doug Burrow's jumped back up to the pole with a 17.2. Pigham's is there with a 17.3. Hair Razor's with a 17.5. Bar's a 17.6. Jakey is a 17.9. Then we've got Super with a 17.9 as well. Bo Snipe is an 18.2. We got Ashler with an 18.9. We've got Happy Pappy with a 19.4. We've got Type R with a 19.5. We got Brad sitting there with a 19.8, and Lone Ghost with a 22.4. And we know he's got more in him, so we'll see if he can hook up a nice juicy little lap here. All right, who is getting close to the start-finish line here? Looks like Hair Razor and Pigham's and Supra, if I'm not mistaken, are all nearing the start-finish line here. So, we're going to see some pit stops coming from these drivers, all 3 of them. So, you can see on the screen there, the tire wear is pretty significant here. That's only 5 laps around the racetrack, so that's only 7 minutes. we have an hour-long race here, so multiply that by 10, and that's what we're going to see out of this race for these guys. So there's definitely going to be a tire change in the race today, without a question of a doubt. Big Willow's like a sandpaper surface. It's very abrasive. It's very aggressive on racing tires. It's bumpy. It's undulating. It's sandy. It's gritty. There's moments of just where you lose traction because there's dirt on the racetrack. This is a very difficult racetrack. It's going to be a very difficult race for these drivers here. It's a racetrack you don't see often in championship racing, so yeah, kudos to the GTRC for throwing something different out there. This one's definitely going to be challenging. All right, Hair Raiser here in third place. We got Bar 27 in fourth place. So back from work training is Bar 27 back on the field here. It's nice to see him back. Welcome back to Bar. Jakey here, he's come in and just been cruising and grooving, showing that support here. We love this guy, Apex Racing's Jakey. We got Supra here in sixth place. We've got Ash in seventh. We've got Bo in eighth. We've got Type R in ninth. We've got Pappy here in 10th. We got Brad still sitting tight in 11th. And we've got Lone here in 12th place, and almost dipping in to those 20s here now as Lone goes. So he is finding some more paces. He's coming around the racetrack here, and that's what we love to see. That's what we love to see. We love to see these drivers just sending it. So it is Doug Burrow still currently sitting in pole position, however, though. So no surprise there. He's obviously a worthy competitor here. He does have a few mini championships under his belt here now. I believe he's got 3, potentially 4 if I'm not mistaken now. So he definitely knows how to win championships, that guy. So we got Piggums here in P2 as well. We've got Hair Raiser here in third. We've got Bar 27 in fourth. We got Jakey in fifth. We've got Supra in sixth. We've got Motorsport in seventh. We've got Bo in eighth. Mr. Type R here in ninth place. We got Happy Pappy here, and we love that green car of Pappy's. We love that green car. We got TMB Brad's here in 11th place, and we've got Lone Ghost here rounding out the field here in 12th, and he continues to find time. He continues to improve. So right at the end of this here, he is starting to groove. But it is still Doug, 1/10 of a second here, sitting in pole currently over Piggums, who is, I'm just trying to find, there he is. Oh, right there. Hair Raiser here in third place. So Hair Raiser is going to come around the start-finish line first for the last time in qualifying. So this is quote-unquote the end of qualifying here as these drivers come around. So it's going to be Hair Raiser followed by, I believe that's Lone Ghost there. And he's not going to make an improvement there. Let's see what Lone Ghost does there. He does improve a little bit there, I believe. Piggums does not improve on his time either. And Hair Raiser is currently sitting in third. Where is Bar? Bar is coming around here right now. We got Jakey in fifth place as well. Let's see where Jake is. Jake's just ahead of Bar actually on the grid here. So let's see if any one of these two drivers can steal that pole position away from Doug Burrow, who's so far holding it down. All right, here we go. Jakey on the move. And then we'll go down to Bar 27. Oh, and Jakey gets it wrong, and that's going to cost him some time here. And Bar 27 is actually going to catch right up to him here. So let's jump on with Bar here, as we know Jakey's not going to get an improvement there. And Bar's going to leap over Jakey. Nope, he doesn't improve either. So there we go. First 2 fifths so far determined. Supra's done. Motorsport is done. Bo is finished. Type R is finished. It looks like we're all done here. Looks like we're all locked into our grid positions. So, well, good job to all the drivers here. So 12 drivers sitting on the grid here tonight, and we're 2 minutes away from a race start here. So, again, it's going to be a 1-hour endurance here tonight at the GTRC community. And these radicals and Big Willow Springs is going to be interesting. So it's one thing when you're qualifying, you're spaced out, you got clean air. Now we're going to have 12 drivers nose to tail at the start finish line when the flags go green. And all 12 of these drivers got to try and navigate this track in dirty air with limited vision. Guys checking up a little bit not to hit the drivers in front of them. There's a lot of factors that are going to play in here into the first couple of corners, especially here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a driver or two going out for a beachside tour of our fan seating areas here around Big Willow. If you're sitting there talking to the fans, you've slid a little ways here. We're potentially going to see that here today. Guys are going to make mistakes, especially as these tires wear down and start to lose their grip. I think we're going to be seeing some drivers building sandcastles, as we like to call it here in the sim racing world. Alright, so as soon as we get lined up on the grid, we'll take you over to the big screen, and, well, we'll do what we do. We'll do what we do. I'm going to knock my audio down just a little bit here, just to try and eliminate some background noise. We got a bunch of fans running in the background here today. It is a little warm, as I said earlier today, so let me know if the balance is improper. Keep me updated. Those little things are easy to fix on the go. We do appreciate all that constructive criticism, of course. Alright, so our pole sitter Doug Barrow here, and I'm not surprised to see that. There's some stiff competition in there. The top 5-6 drivers for sure, even with Bow Snipe there in 8th place. A little uncharacteristic to see Bow Snipe down in 8th place, actually. So the usual suspects up at the front end of the grid here. Not too surprised to see that. Ooh, a little airtime there as the drivers are going to go, oh, we're going to see some airtime here. There we go. Oh, he clipped the wall. Oh, and Pigum so almost clears him. There we go. We got flying radicals here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure what the racetrack designers were thinking putting that giant hill right there, but yeah, you all know what. Boys will be boys, and we see a dirt-filled ramp, and we've got wheels underneath of us. Well, 1 + 1 = 2. That's all I'm gonna say. But pretty good stuff here. There we go. So the guys are just having some fun here. They're getting ready to race, and again, this is of course a sim racing event here. So the cars, the drivers, nobody's getting hurt. That is the best thing about sim racing. It's a great chance for those of us that have that racing bug in us, and we can't afford to do it in real life, or maybe we don't want to risk the body and put ourselves in that kind of disadvantage in life. So we choose to remain safe and just not do it. Sim racing gives us that ability to burn that desire within us. So it is going to be a false start with a grid start with a false start check here. We got 5 reds. Kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go race and chat. And we're green. That was a quick green, and Doug gets a great launch here. So there we go. Let's get through our field here as Doug's going to move right over to try and break the toe here. You got Pigums and Hair Razor side by side. You got Bar and Jake side by side here as well. And so far, so good. All 12 drivers lined up in the grid there. Ooh, Lone Ghost getting the tire in the dirt there. That is going to give him a little less grip coming into this sweeping right-hander. So far, so good. Here we got some great side-by-side battle between Jakey and Bar here right now, as Bar started in 1 position ahead of Jake on the grid here, and still side-by-side. Jake is just going to that position out, so move himself up into 4th place there. That puts Bar down into 5th. That leaves Bow Snipe moving up 2 quick positions here on race start into 6th place, dropping Supra down 1 position into 7th. So a couple of swap positions here in the first few corners. Ooh, and Jakey just clipped at that curb there. Got a little sideways out of that corner there. Does a great job keeping it up. And now you can see Bar 27 is really putting the pressure on him there. And so far, so good here on lap 1 around Big Willow. So some caution being showed by the drivers here. Everybody's settling themselves into position very quickly. And it is a race on here at the Gran Turismo Racing Community's Radical Super Cup Round 4. All right, here we go. It is Doug Barrow in the lead, and Pigum is very close in behind. Hair Razor in 3rd place. So our podium has not changed since race start so far as we come around to start lap 2. Bar 27 gets back into 4th place there. Bow Snipes grabbed the place in 5th place. So Jakey's lost a couple of spots out of that little slide coming through the corners of the chicane there. And, well, race on. He'll just have to get back on it and see if he can catch these guys back up. And he's got a whole bunch of pressure from the group in behind here. We got Ash Motorsport in 7th place in behind. He's followed up by a Supra here in 8th. So Ash doing a pretty good job here so far, making up an early position as well. That leaves Type R here in 9th position. Brad's is up 1 position from his starting point up into 10th place. We got Happy Pappy here in 11th, and Lone Ghost just in behind here in 12th place as well. So here we go, back up to the front of the pack. This is where the action is. Let's jump on board with our current race leader here, Doug Barrow. And this is about what you're looking at here. This is not a whole lot different from how it looks in real life for the most part. With that windscreen, that visor in there, and it's just up high enough to basically protect the drivers. So Doug Barrow here as he's coming through, and you can see in that side mirror there, Pigums and Hair Razor still in range. They're right there, so he is aware that these drivers are in behind as we take a look in behind Dugborough here, our current race leader. And let's take an onboard lap around Big Willow here with our current race leader. This is lap 3 only, I know, but it'll just give you a little perspective from what these guys are dealing with how it's going through their eyes around the racetrack here. You can see these radicals are quite quick. I mean, we're at 120 mile an hour coming into that corner there in the Group 3 cars. Obviously, you're coming in a little bit hotter, but these radicals are no joke. They're the real deal, and this is kind of entry-level racing stuff here. I mean, if you want to get noticed in the racing world, radicals is a good place to start, especially if you're over in the EU side of the world. Their radicals are definitely big over there. Here in North America, it's not necessarily the radicals that get you noticed. It's more that Miata Cup series that we see here over in the North America side of things. But both great entry-level cars for real-life racing. So, love to see the tribute paid back to the roots of racing nowadays, basically. Fun little cars, these radicals as well. So, all right, take a look there. You can see Piggums. He's really starting to gain some ground here. He's almost got a nose up in beside Doug there, but Doug got a great run through the corner here. And again, you can see, I believe that's bar 27 just off in the distance there, and the whole pack just coming around that final corner in behind our race leader here as well. So let's go through our field here. We got Piggum still in second, Hair Raiser in the Ghostbusters car still chilling here in third place. We got bar 27 here in fourth place, and he hasn't been on a track in about a month or 5 weeks, so he's looking good here so far, shaking that rust off very quickly. We've got Apex Racing's Jakey here in 5th place, and he's got Bo Snipe just tucked in behind here in 6th. Supra is now up into 7th, so he's gotten back around Ash Motorsport here. So these two are having a spirited little battle right now between them for 7th and 8th position here currently on the track. We've got Type R here in 9th place. He's got about 2.3 seconds in behind that group up in front, which really, one little mistake is not a lot of time to make up. Happy Pappy's in 10th place here with Lone Ghost in 11th, and Brad's is in 12th. So a little bit of an off-track excursion or a mistake made by this driver here, and just a little bit off the back of the pack here. But again, a lot of racing to happen here yet. So right now the fastest man on the racetrack is Doug Burrow with a 117.815, but we're going to see that time probably get a little bit quicker here yet as this race progresses. Now it all depends on when, of course, the tires decide to finally give way, but as these guys burn the fuel off of these cars, the cars are going to get a little bit lighter, which should make them faster. But that is, of course, only if the drivers leave enough tire underneath their race car to take advantage of that lightweight situation. So we're on the racing medium tire here in the series. I think I said the soft at the beginning of the broadcast. If that was the case, I do apologize for the misconfusion. It is mediums here in the series. I should know that. It's always mediums. We got Cody Bass coming in with the thumbs up on the stream as well. How you doing, my dude? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. All right. Well, the stream, I'm happy with the stream is working today. So whatever the issue is, we seem to have finally figured it out. We chased that ghost away, and we can get back to business here at GT45 Gaming. So Doug Barrow here still in the lead. Pickham's just chilling. What is he? So about half a second in behind Doug Barrow. So Piggum's just recently a new driver with Rockefeller Racing here as well, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome in to Piggum's, to the team. Of course, I'm a fellow teammate now of Piggum's here, so I just wanted to give him a big shout out, and in his debut here, I guess, in a sense, for the first competitive race as a Rockefeller racer here is Piggum's, so welcome to the team for him. We've got Hair Raiser here in 3rd place. We've got Apex Racing's Jakey now up into 4th place, so bar 27 made a mistake here somewhere and lost that position to Jakey, and Bo Snipe there, just giving him a little bit of a tap there to help him get along. They definitely want to reel Jakey back in here and try to catch up that top 3 up in front of him. So a little bit of friendly fire here from Bo Snipe just to try and help his own cause out here later on in the race. So that's some smart driving right there from Bo Snipe very early on. Ash Motorsport here has gotten back around Supra, and he's starting to reel these guys in a little bit here now. He has opened up that gap on Supra and decided, you know what, I'm tired of fighting with you. There's better positions up ahead of there. I'm going to try and catch these guys. So he is cruising, trying to catch that 4th, 5th, and 6th place pack here. We got Supra in 8th place, and he's only about 1.72 seconds now, in behind Ash. So just a small little mistake most likely, or just not quite a good run out of one of the corners as Ash maybe gotten, but still right there. We got Type R's trying to reel him in here now in 9th place as well. Happy Pappy here in 10th. It's just 3.5 seconds off of them. We got Lone Ghost here in 11th place, and Brad slowly closing him back up here in 12th place. So no matter where it is on the racetrack, there's always a battle happening. So that is where the whole skill comes in, ladies and gentlemen. And when we say it doesn't matter what skill it is that you are as a racer, you're welcome to come and race at GTRC in a league format. This is why we say that. We have top tier drivers right down to new academy and rookie drivers all the way through this field here, and you know, they come on track because again, organized racing is a lot more clean racing. You get a better opportunity to really get good seat time and experience in. You get to learn, but you also get to work with the community, work with the competitors, because they all practice together, they all run races together. These guys and gals all share information with each other, and it's a very quickly growing, tight-knit group of drivers here at the Gran Turismo racing community. So that's why we say it doesn't matter what your skill level is, because no matter what your skill level is, whether you're an academy or rookie driver like Alone and Brad's here, and some of the guys that are up just a little bit ahead of them here, there's always a battle, there's always a race to be had here in these races, and that's the best thing. So no matter where it is you're on the track, there's a fight going on somewhere in your skill level. We got Doug Piggums and Hair Razor here, Jakey and Barr. I mean, both Snipe. These are all top-level drivers. We call these guys, you know, split one drivers, top-tier drivers. We move down through our field into our second split drivers, Ash, Supra, Type R. You know, that would be a pro-am division style split if we're going to break it down for that for everybody. Supra as well here. We got Type R, Happy Pappy, you know, starting to sit into that am category himself here. Now his pace is improving race by race, you know, he is starting to find that next level of driving for himself here as well. So you know, and the reason for that is because of continued organized events like this. No matter whether it's with GTRC or any other community out there, there's plenty of them out there in Gran Turismo, ACC, iRacing, all the platforms. But the organized racing really does help develop those skills and that craft as a racer. And you'd be surprised at how much fun it starts to become when you're having great battles for an hour long with other drivers on the racetrack. It completely changes the way you feel about it. So get involved. Don't sit on the fence anymore. Just ask us how, and we'll tell you, and we'll direct you, and we'll get you in, and we'll get you grooving. We have drivers that come in and they don't compete right away. They work with the community. They just chill in lobbies, and they get together with groups of people, and they practice, and they learn, and they continue to learn. And then when they feel like they're ready, they come in and they jump into these mini-series events. And that's exactly what the community is based around and designed for, is to just continue to develop sim racing and make it a fun sport, and a fun sport it most certainly is. So it is Doug Burrow here in the lead, and Piggums is tucked right up in behind him here, so I'm not sure what's happened to Hair Razor here, but first and second place have kind of starting to run away with things here a little bit. And Doug Burrow still holding fastest lap on track with us at 117.3, so not too far off his pole position time here in qualifying now, but Piggums ain't letting him go anywhere. Hair Razor's a little bit off the pace here, about 3 seconds now in third place, and he's lost the toe of that group, so he could be potentially in danger from this pack in behind him. If they were to stop battling for a little bit and just work together and start using a little bum drafting and slipstreaming, which does work here. Big Willow if done right. Ooh, and a little bit of an off there by bar 27. That's going to put some sand on those tires, and he's going to find it really hard to find the grip he needs to get around this corner really, really quickly. Doing a good job of managing it here, but I thought for sure Bull Snipe was going to get a little bit of a better run there, but bar 27 doing a great job. We got a brake marker board on the middle of the racetrack here as well. We're surprised that race control hasn't called that yellow to go get that thing out of there yet, but they're going to let these guys race on. So Pappy now up into 9th place. We've lost a driver here. I think we lost Lone Ghost, it looks like. Oh, that's unfortunate. We got Brad's here in 10th place. We've got Jakey all the way down to 11th place after a pit stop. Oh, we have everybody here. And Lone Ghost here in 12th place still. Okay, game's tricking me. Look at that, hey? All right, Doug Barrow here in the lead. So he's doing a pretty good job at managing Piggums in behind him here. So Piggums in second place is still right there, but there's really... Huh. That's interesting. I'm not going to say anything because I know the drivers listen to the stream while it's broadcasting, so I am not really going to say anything about what I was just looking at there. But interesting. We'll talk about it after the race for sure. Hair Razor here in 3rd place. Bar 27 here in 4th. We've got Bo Snipe in 5th. We've got Ash Motorsport here in 6th place. About 4.7 seconds off that front pack now. So Type R here in 7th. Happy Pappy up into 8th place. Super in 9th. Brad's in 10th. Jakey here in 11th, and he's starting to close in on Brad's here. So let's just stick with this here. Of course, we got a couple of different skill level of drivers here, so it's going to be. We always love watching these battles and watching how the drivers fight this battle as well. So Jakey looking for a way around right now. Right now, he's just kind of chilling in behind Brad's. He's assessing the driver. He's looking for braking points. He's looking for where this driver's kind of lines are. He's trying to find that moment on the racetrack where he's going to get around them here, attempt to make that pass. So right now, a little bit of studying happening from Apex Jakey here, and if he makes a mistake, potentially there to capitalize on it. So and right here, a little bit of a mistake made by Brad, so that's going to push him on a wide exit here. You can see Jakey's really on the line here, and he might get the run through here. We'll have to see. This could be the spot that it happens. Let's see if Jakey can get the run around the corner here. There we. Oh, I thought for sure we're going to see the cut back there, and there it is. A little wiggle from Jakey, but we kind of. I seen the setup happening there, and there it is. So Apex Jakey going to get the job done there on Brad's, and that was a very strategic thought out move there by Apex Racing's Jakey, and a great job there by TMB Brad's as well. Good clean side by side battling, just a small little touch right there, but no harm no foul from these two drivers, and Jakey gets the job done, moves back up a spot, and that puts Brad's down into 11th place. But nice good clean little fight right there between Brad's and Apex Racing's Jakey. You can tell I've commentated a lot of these races for a while. I've picked up a lot of these drivers' tendencies and started to kind of really learn how their racing style goes. So I feel that helps, of course, with the commentary, explaining maybe what the drivers are thinking. Obviously, we're just speculating as commentators. We don't know what they're really thinking. But you know, as you get to know your the drivers, and as you get to see guys quite regularly through different events and stuff that you're working with, you kind of start to develop an idea of what's going through those drivers' minds at that time. And boy, Apex Jakey, textbook right there. Watch, learn, observe, execute. Type R here in 7th place. We've got Happy Pappy here in 8th. We've got Supra in 9th. We've got Jakey here in 10th, and he's now chasing Supra down, who's about 2.7 seconds up ahead of him here. We got Brad's here in 11th place, and he's still tucked right in behind Jakey there. He's not really losing a whole lot of ground there. And we got Lone Ghost here in 12th place, and he's still moving, grooving, and cruising, and we love to see it. All right, so it is still the battle here between Doug and Piggums here. Piggums is... I mean, you know, it's early on in the race. I'm not really sure what Piggums is thinking here right now. I think he's just kind of chilling in behind, maybe hoping that that driver up in front is just going to make a little or enough of a mistake that he can get an easy way or an easy position on him to try and make a move. But he could just be chilling in behind him here right now. It's only 15 minutes into a 60-minute race, so we're only at 25% of the way through our race here today. There's really no need to force this battle here right now. Really, the objective is to keep that driver within the distance here. And we got a driver off track here, so the drivers have to make sure they're not passing as they're coming through this yellow flag zone here. I got that penalty in Nations Cup on Wednesday, and that one hurt a little bit. So drivers definitely got to be aware of those yellow flags on the racetrack. They did a great job there, and they're just flying here as we're starting lap 13. Hair Raiser here in 3rd place, and as I suspected, he's kind of slowly but surely starting to fall victim to Bar 27 and Bo Snipe here in behind him in 4th and 5th place. A little bit of cooperation from these two drivers at some point has helped obviously pick some time up, but now they've separated a little bit, got clean air in those race cars, and really they can both just kind of settle into their race pace here now and hopefully just try to work on closing in that 3rd place driver. Ash in 6th there, Type R here in 7th, and it's about 10-second gap there. So we got Happy Pappy here in 8th, we've got Supra in 9th, we've got Jakey in 10th, and he's closing in on Supra here. He's about a half second that lap. He was faster around the racetrack than Supra. Brad's here in 11th position, and Lone Ghost is moving and grooving here. The Radicals, a little bit of a difficult car to drive. There's some techniques with the shifting of these cars really to maximize the way that these cars drive. And once you figure that out, then you need to figure out how to get these things to turn quickly and not lose momentum. You can't really do anything but brake in a straight line in these cars, because any braking under turning conditions will just cause the rear ends of these cars to slide out. That is, of course, that midship engine in these cars. So they're light as well. They're super light cars. So with that being said, you know, there's a delicate balance of these cars, and in order to really maximize everything out of these radical cars, you kind of need to drive them on the edge. That's the way they're designed to be driven. You need these cars to be loose in a sense. You need that the rear end of the car to be a little bit free when we say loose, so that when you come around the corner, you get a little bit of slide out of those tires, and that slide essentially actually helps rotate the car. So you'll see that out of these drivers if you're watching. You'll see a lot of rear end slide coming out of these drivers in some of these corners, especially coming out of, say, a high speed zone into a hard braking zone. And that's to try and maximize the rotation out of the car, to maximize your momentum out of the corner. And we can see Piggums here might have got a run on Dugborough. We may see a battle for the lead here. So here we go. Side by side is Piggums and Dugborough here. And Dugborough's just going to edge Piggums out here and maintain the race lead here. But Piggums got a little bit of a run there on Doug. He just couldn't quite get it done. So the pace between first and second place are absolutely dead even between the two drivers here. Notifications. Alright, I think we're good. Just making sure that we all good. Alright, Piggums here in second place, Hair Razor in third. We got Bar 27 here in fourth position. We got Bo Snipe here in fifth. We got Ash in sixth. We got Type R in seventh. We got Pappy in eighth place. Supra here in ninth, closing in on Pappy. Jakey was closing in on these guys, must have made a mistake. He's back about 4.7 seconds here. He's coming up on 12th place driver Lone Ghost there. Got Brad's here in 12th place, and our boy Lone Ghost here in 12th place, as Jakey's just coming up on the back of him there. So pretty good racing here so far by all of the group tonight. Paula coming in with that heart on the stream. How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you enjoyed your trip to Laguna a couple weekends ago. I am green with envy, my dude. Ooh, we had a little spike there. Alright. Still a couple little issues here with the programming, but I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, it didn't crash, so that's a plus. Alright, so Piggums here in second place. Ooh, Bar dipping into the sand there. Yeah, it was dangerous, but he has gotten around Hair Razor here. So Bar 27 now in third place. We got Doug coming into pit lane here. Bar's going to stay out. Hair Razor's going to come into pit lane here as well. Bo Snipe's going to stay out, so that's going to put Bo here on the podium for the time being. Ash Motorsport here's the 12 seconds in behind. If he stays out, he's probably going to grab some positions. No, he's going to come into pit lane here as well. So I think this is going to be the age-old question of the two-stop versus the one-stop, but I don't know if any of these guys are going to be able to one-stop. It would be a feat by the looks of it. Supra here in 8th place. He's got Happy Pappy. Ooh, and Supra going for pit lane, whether he wants to or not there. So scheduled or unscheduled, he will be now making that pit stop. We got Jakey's coming around. He made an early pit stop here, so different strategy coming from this driver, and that's going to put him up a couple of free spots there, and now he can start chasing down Happy Pappy in 6th place. All right, let's move down our field here. Ash Motorsport comes out in 8th. Type R comes out in 9th. Super still in pit lane. You can see the Fuel Man getting that fuel in there, and the Lollipop Man just releasing their driver there. So Super coming back out on track here. That leaves Brad's here. Ooh, going for a ride here at Big Willow's. And, oof, that was a tough one there from Brad's, but hey, that's all right. We said that Big Willow provides for some pretty crazy sliding when you get off track, and that was just a prime example of it right there. So we got Piggums now coming into pit lane, so overcut versus undercut happening here. That brings Bar 27 and Bo Snipe also into pit lane. So let's see where Doug comes out here now in comparison. He's just coming around the final corner here, so he should grab the race lead back from these drivers as they sit in pit lane. The bigger question is what's that gap going to be between the two drivers as they come around corner one here. So Piggums is already out, and it looks like it's going to be about 3 seconds here. So undercut looking like it may have worked for the time being here from Doug, but with 39 minutes remaining in the race yet, there is a lot of pit stop probably factoring in here by the looks of things today. So Bo Snipe stays in 3rd place here, just ahead of Hair Razor Bar 27. There is a yellow flag on the track right now, so none of these drivers can pass. So the flag goes away. It is now safe to pass. So You can see Barr was thinking about having a battle with Hair Razor there, but he had to check up due to the yellow flag. And ooh, a little bit of side-by-side action there. And Bar 27 was making a little bit of contact on Hair Razor there. He just left him enough room. Hair Razor's going to swing back around through the next corner on the inside and take that position back from Bar 27. So a great little battle there between those two drivers, and let's see if we can catch some of that here one more time. Side by side, coming through the first corner, Bar 27 takes the position, but goes wide into the next corner, and Hair Razor dips in the inside there and gets the position back. So great little battle between our third and fourth place drivers, Hair Razor, and fourth and fifth place driver, Hair Razor and Bar 27. All right, back through the field. Rock and roll. Doug in the lead. Piggums 2.8 seconds in behind. Bo Snipe in third place, and he's got Hair Razor and Bar 27 chasing. So a little bit of a battle there gave Bo Snipe just a small amount of breathing room. That leaves Apex Sim Racing's Jakey chasing those drivers down 6.6 seconds down the road currently from that front pack. Happy Pappy here in 7th place. He's going to come in and make his pit stop here. We have Type R in 9th place. I can't hit the right button. There it is. And he made a pit stop, so he'll grab that position from Pappy as he comes around. Supra's here in 10th place. We got Brad's in 11th, and Lone goes right in behind here in 12th place. All right, rock and roll. Let's keep it going here. We got 26.5 minutes remaining of this race, so as the drivers continue to go around here, now they're starting to think about this middle stint. They really don't want to make any mistakes. The objective here is to keep it mean and clean. And just give me a second to fix this little issue we're having here. There we go. All right. So we don't have it perfect yet. We're still have some issues here with our stream today. We got Piggums here in 2nd place. We got Bo in 3rd. We got Hair in 4th. Bar 27 in 5th. We got Jakey in 6th. We got Ash in 7th. We got Type R in 8th. Supra in 9th. Pappy in 10th. We got Brad's here in 11th. And Lone Ghost here in 12th place. So 2.9 seconds is the gap from Doug Barrow to Piggums. Now he's opened that up just a tiny little bit since that first round of pit stops. But again, this is a middle stint. This is kind of the stint that really can make or break your race finish stint for you. So the drivers just need to keep it lean, mean, and clean, not make those big mistakes, and just try to get around the track as consistently and quickly as possible. So we were talking about that little bit of rear end slide in these cars, and we just seen a little bit of it come from Doug Barrow there as he was coming around that corner, and you can see it did help the car rotate, but Doug really pushing right now, and it's risk versus reward when you push that hard to try and open up that gap. But you can see just that little bit of a mistake cost him 1/10 of a second there. So every little mistake is a 10th, and the next thing you know, that driver's back caught up to you. Bo Snipe here now up into 3rd place. He's gotten around, or is still holding off, pardon me, Hair Razor and Bar 27 in behind, but that gap has closed up significantly. We're within 3/4 of a second now. Is the Ghostbusters car, Hair Razor, as he's trying to close up Bo Snipe here. So definitely a good, efficient little battle happening here, all over the racetrack. That's Bar 27 here. He's about 2.8 seconds in behind those drivers currently. We got Jakey here in 6th place, and he is coming up just behind, I believe, Brad's there as well, and he has Ash Motorsport tucked right in behind in 7th place. So Ash Motorsport adding a little pressure to Apex Racing's Jakey here. So let's keep an eye on this as they're coming up, of course, into a blue flag situation here at the same time in an active battle here. So this is going to be interesting here to see what happens. So Jake's going to take advantage of that slip from that driver for as long as he can. And this is a tricky corner, a very, very high-speed corner. You're not really braking here. You're just kind of releasing your throttle point a little bit to make sure you don't float out and go for a little ride in the sand. And then you're braking coming into this corner. There we go. Jakey's going to take it up the inside there. So is Ash, and Brad's just trying to give him a little bit of room to get around there, doing the right thing. Just got himself up in the dirt there. So unfortunate there for Brad's, but it is a part of the learning process. So as time goes on and as he gets more time under his belt, as he continues to race with the group, he will just continue to get quicker and quicker, and eventually the blue flag situation won't be something he needs to worry about. But yeah, just a little mistake trying to give those guys room. He got into the marbles there and just lost a little bit of extra grip. Maybe wasn't anticipating how little grip there is out on the outside of the track there, but hey, that's how we learn. That's what we do. Ash Motorsport here in 7th. We got Type R in 8th. We got Pappy in 9th. We got Supra in 10th. We got Brad's in 11th. And we got Lone Ghost in 12th. And we appreciate every single driver on the track putting in their paces here today. We love to see the heart, the desire. We love it. All right, so Doug is in the lead of this race currently. Why did you do that, computer? We're not doing that. Thank you, computer. All right. Rock and roll. All right, 2.4 seconds is that gap from Doug to Piggums. Both Snipe and Hair Razor here. They're starting to kind of close up. Let's jump on with Hair Razor here. As you just, again, you know, we might not see a lot of battling in this middle stint. I think unless there's a clear, concise position there or a move available there, I don't think we're really going to see a whole lot of hard battling between these drivers in this middle stint. Really, the objective here is to try and go into pit lane with as much fuel as possible to save yourself that time in pit lane, because the refueling, it really does make a big difference. Of course, how quick that tire change is does too, but the tire changes go quite relatively quickly here. I think it's only 2 or 3 seconds for a tire change here in Gran Turismo 7, but it's the refueling that takes a while here in pit lane. So you really want to not over push your race car here and try to save as much racing fuel as possible. So when you do get into that final pit stop, maybe you save yourself 3, 4, 5 seconds in pit lane, and that could make the difference in a position. All right, Jakey here in 6th place, and let's take a little look behind him here. He's got a little bit of breathing room right now from Ash, so he can really just kind of focus on the task at hand here, and that is push, and see if he can make some ground up. Got Ash here in behind, and a little bit of a dirt touch there from Jakey, but I gotta tell you, these drivers doing quite well here with Big Willow today, and definitely not an easy racetrack to navigate, especially with tire wear and 11 other competitors on the racetrack. Ghost here, so we did just see the blue flag waving there when we were sitting on that hood cam of Lone Ghost there just a second ago. So our race leader's starting to catch up to that driver here. Ooh, little dip in the sand there from Lone Ghost as he comes around, and there's a lot of sand here in Big Willow, and yeah, these heated up racing tires get out into that sand, and it's just really hard to stop these cars when they're moving at the speed they're moving. I mean, right now they're at 130 miles an hour, so they're 200 kilometers an hour right now, these radicals here around the racetrack. That's pretty quick. So the sand, it takes a little while to slow these guys down. All right, so 4.6 seconds is the gap now from Doug to Piggums. I'm not sure if Piggums has just backed off or if he made a mistake there. Bo Snipe here in 3rd still has Hair Razor chasing right there in 4th place. So again, I didn't expect that we'd see a lot of heavy battling here over the next 15-20 minutes. Usually the mid-race is kind of the most settled part of our races here. Again, and that's just the drivers ultimately thinking about the final 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the race. Whenever it is that they decide that they're going to make that pit stop. So we got Pappy and Brad's here. Pappy just looking to get around Brad's here. So all right, side by side are these two drivers, and great job right there. That is some great racing right there between our 9th place and 11th place driver right there as Pappy manages to get around. No, he's going to find himself in the marbles there, and he'll be looking for grip, but he just holds on to the corner there, and he's just going to stay ahead of Brad's there. So that was a great job there by Pappy. We got Supra here in 10th place, and he's chilling right now. He's just chilling. And we got our boy Lone Ghost here in 12th place as well, moving and grooving. So stylish looking cars as always got those beautiful looking shiny paint jobs on the racetrack, but it is a Doug Burrow leading the way, and it's 7.3 seconds now as that gap. So again, our 2nd place driver making a bit of a mistake somewhere here maybe, and Bo Snipe here in 3rd place starting to close in on our 2nd place driver Piggums here. We've got Hair Razor in 4th, we've got Bar in 5th, we've got Jakey in 6th, we've got Ash Motorsport in 7th, we got Type R in 8th, we got Pappy here in 9th, we got Supra here in 10th position, we've got TMB Brads here in 11th, and Lone Ghost here in 12th position. Alright, we're rocking. The tires are rolling. They're definitely starting to wear down here again, as you can see here as we go through our field. You can see what I can see. I don't need to say it, but you can see it for yourselves, of course, when you're watching. So we'll just leave it at that. Again, the drivers do watch, not watch, but listen to the stream sometimes. So we're not going to give them any free information, anyways. Haha. Bo Snipe here in 3rd place. We got Hair Razor in 4th, and Bar 27 in 5th. These 3 drivers are kind of starting to close each other back up here. As we're leading in towards the final pit window. Anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes from now, we'll start seeing another series of pit stops, approximately, just based off of my educated guess in my brain at this point. Ash Motorsport is in 6th, and big gap here now, so Jakey has some pressure here from Type R, as Type R is right on top of him, but Jakey also has made another pit stop here, so again, an alternative strategy coming from this driver here today, and we'll have to see how that works out for him at the end of the race here, but he's got a little bit of time to make up right now on that group in front of him. Alright, so race leader is catching up to Supra. I believe that's our 10th place driver there now, as he lurches around Big Willow Springs here, but there's a good gap. There's still 5-6 second gap between the 2 drivers here currently. Pigham's here in 2nd place, and Bo Snipe is slowly but surely starting to close up on him here. 4.8 seconds now is that gap. So again, Pigham's could just be conserving fuel. He could be playing a little bit of strategy here in the latter part of this race. We got Bo here, who's just coming around lone right now, and a great job here by these 2 drivers. Ooh, what do we got there? It looks like a battle between Hair Razor and Bar 27, and Bar 27 is going to take a look up the inside of Hair Razor here, and that's going to be Bar 27 moving into 4th place, and Hair Razor, woohoo, going for a bit of a ride. Let's go take another look at that. As coming into the corner here, you can see Bar takes a look up the inside, has that position. He's got half a car length in beside Hair Razor there, so at that point he now owns that part of the corner. Ooh, and a little slide there from Hair Razor as he just touched the brake there to get the car to rotate, and was very fortunate right there as well to keep the car underneath of him, as again the sand here at Big Willow is ruthless. It's very slippery. It's about the opposite of what you'd expect what sand would do around a racetrack. Instead of slowing these drivers down, they just slide and slide and slide. So Pigham's here in 2nd place, 7.5 seconds is the gap. Pigham's does hold fastest lap on the track right now with a 1:17.261 as well. We have Bo Snipe here in 3rd place. We got Bar now in 4th place. We got Hair Razor here in 5th. Ash in 6th. We've got Jake in 7th place. We've got Type R here in 8th. We've got Mr. Happy Pappy in 9th. We got Supra here in 10th. We've got Brad coming in for a pit stop here in 11th. And woo! And there we go. We got Lone Ghost just making a mistake. And there's that sliding we were telling you about. And at 200 kilometers an hour, those drivers are sliding quickly. All right, so it is Doug Barrow here in the lead of the race. And I got to tell you, I would be one of those drivers if it were me on this racetrack right now. I'd be the one sliding until eternity. So I feel for these drivers that are having a little struggle around here today. Tough racetrack. Pigham's here in 2nd place. We got Bo Snipe here in 3rd place. And it's only 4 seconds now to Bar 27. He's very quickly opened up a gap on Hair Razor here. And again, this could just be strategy these guys are playing right now. Try not to burn any unnecessary fuel that they need to right now. So instead of battling for that position, just give it up and try to get it back in pit lane maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But that is what I'm kind of thinking I'm seeing here from some of our drivers. We've got Ash Motorsport here in 6th place, and this driver is finally getting into a race to get racing here today. His internet has been giving him a little bit of issues here over the last couple of weeks, but it seems to be better here today, as he is able to get on track and race here today. Jakey here in 7th place, 24 seconds, so he's 4 seconds out of Ash Motorsport ahead there. Type R's here in 8th, we got Happy Pappy in 9th, we got Supra in 10th. You can see Doug's just coming up on the backside of him there right now, and he just gets out of the way on the straightaway in a nice safe spot, so that was a great job by Supra, short, sweet, and precise. But Doug, got a little bit wide there, came real close to the edge of that track, and I thought we were going to see our race leader make a mistake there, but he did a great job, kept it together. We got Brad's here in 11th, Lone Ghost in 12th position. So not a lot happening in the middle of the race. That's usually the way it goes, though. It's not a surprise here from the commentator side of things. We're 22.5 minutes away from our racing ends, so anywhere within the next 2 to 10 minutes, we're going to see the remainder of our drivers probably make a pit stop here. There we go. We got Barr making a big mistake there, going for a little excursion off the track there and taking a dusty way around the corner. Now there's going to be a position gain for Hair Razor right there. So Barr now has to recharge, re-attack, and re-navigate to try and get that position back. And that is going to slow the charge down to Bo Snipe up in 3rd place for him as well. So that was unfortunate there, just a little bit of an error made by that driver and going off track, and that's going to allow Hair Razor to grab that spot back up from him. So Ash Motorsport here in 6th place, we've got Type R here in 7th, we've got Happy Pappy here in 8th, we've got Supra in 9th, we've got Jakey in 10th position, got Brad's in 11th, and our boy Lone in 12th place. Great shot here by the Big Willow helicopter camera crew here as these cars are coming around the racetrack. Our top 4 drivers all right there. It looks like Doug is now closing in Happy Pappy in 8th position up in front of him there, but again, there's a pretty large gap between him and that next driver. Pigham's here in 2nd place, 7.4 seconds, so managing the gap right now, and catching up to Jake there, it looks like. So Jake technically a lap down right now as they come around. Was that Jake? It might have been Jake. Alright, so gotta get that's what I thought we were gonna see here. So the alternative strategy stop here coming from Jake now, but it's gonna be interesting to see how that 3 stop versus a 2 stop is gonna work out for him here today. I'm a little interesting strategy. Alright, Pigham's here in 2nd place. We got Bo in 3rd. Barr in 4th, Ash now up into 5th. Hair Razor's made his stop here as well, so he's going to be coming out of pit lane. He's got nobody to worry about in behind him, so he comes back out in 6th there. We've got Type R in 7th, we've got Happy in 8th, we've got Super in 9th, Jakey in 10th. You can see Lone Ghost just making a small mistake there, parked himself up on the hill there. And he's just going to let Brad's go around here as well. And it's tough racing on this racetrack. It's not for the faint of heart, Big Willow Springs. So our race leader is going to come in for his final stop of the race here. Now that we got Pigham's. Pigham's is going to opt to go around again here. So he's going to, again, look for that overcut. Got Bo Snipe here. What's he going to do? He's going to go around again as well. Doug's going to come out, I believe, just in front there. That was not Doug. I believe that was Type R that we just seen come out of pit lane there. We have Bar 27 here in 3rd place. We've got Doug's going to come out just in behind Bar 27. We got Jake getting his lap back there as he goes around Doug. Ooh, and we got a yellow flag here. Ooh, big spin by somebody coming down that back stretch there. And, oh, it's Lone Ghost there. Oh, he's still having a big spin there. as Hair Razor comes through here in 5th place. Action Pit Lane, that's Pappy here in 7th. We got Type R here in 8th. We got Supra in 9th. We got Jakey here in 10th currently, and he's just in behind 9th place driver Supra. Got Brad's here in 11th position, and Lone Ghost here in 12th place. So, whew, big smoke show there coming from the Radical Lone Ghost, as again, just making a mistake in the final corner, probably catching a little bit of sand there, and well, just along for the ride at that point sometimes. So it is Pigham's in the lead. Bo Snipe here is in 2nd place. Bar 27 here in 3rd. That puts Doug 16.8 seconds in behind our race leader Pigham's, who's now coming into pit lane. Bo Snipe's going to follow him in here in 2nd place. Bar 27 is going to do much of the same. He's going to take the scenic route through the sand there, but gets it into pit lane. So let's see where Doug comes out and how far ahead of Pigham's and Bo Snipe and Bar 27 he comes out now. So you can see him there coming around right now. And Pigham's is out. So that was about a 7.4 second gap, I think. Ooh, and a big old spin there by Jakey and behind Pigham's there as well. So 5.3, so gained 2 seconds in pit lane there on the race leader did Pigham's. Bo's still in 3rd, Bar's in 4th, Hair Razor's in 5th, we got Ash in 6th, we got Pappy in 7th, Type R in 8th, Super in 9th, Jakey in 10th, and he's got Brad's coming around him right there in 11th, so that'll just be a lap back for Brad's as he goes around that driver. All right, some crazy racing happening here, and you can see even some of the best drivers out there struggling with this racetrack. Big Willow is a tough racetrack. Even it doesn't matter how well you know this racetrack, it is super easy to make that mistake, and especially when you have the tire degradation that these drivers are facing here today. I believe it's 5 times tire wear, or even 6 in the series, so it is significant as these drivers come around the racetrack here, and it's getting a little bit cloudy as well overhead here at and Pigham's going off track here. Oh boy, that is not going to be good here, as I think he got forced into pit lane right there, and he's going to get a 3-second penalty there. So absolutely not what Pigham's was looking for there. Bar 27 also having an issue out of that final corner. Bo Snipe's going to find his way into 2nd place here. So, all right. I think Pigham's is just going to call it there. I think the car is just going to sit in pit lane there as these drivers come around. That was super unfortunate. That is, unfortunately, downside here, Big Willow, is if you get that final corner wrong, you could end up sliding into pit lane like they did to Pigham's there, and well, give you a 3-second penalty too, which on top of it is just insult to injury. I think that's unnecessary there, because he wasn't a difficult situation there for Pigham's. We got Jakey here in 10th, we got Brad's in 11th, we got Lone Ghost here in 12th. So it is Doug Burrow here in the lead, and now it's 11 seconds to gap to Bo Snipe here with that spin into pit lane there by Pigham. So the crew's got that car up on the stand there, and they're definitely taking a look at that car after that rough final corner there. Bo Snipe here in 2nd place. We got Bar 27 here in 3rd, and Hair Razor putting some pressure on Bar here. So these two have been pretty closely paced all race long. We have Ash Motorsport here in 5th place. We've got Pappy in 6th place as he's navigating around Lone Ghost here right now. Got Type R here in 7th. We've got Supra in 8th. We've got Jakey in 9th. Pigham's down into P10 here. And again, the crew's still assessing that car. You can see the crew chief kind of scratching his head there going, okay, I'm not sure what we're going to do here. So whatever the case is, that car's still in pit lane here. And maybe day over for the Pigham's Radical here today. All right, so race leader really just needs to drive this thing home here now. He doesn't need to push. He doesn't need to force anything at this point. He just needs to drive it and keep it on track. Manage that gap. 13 seconds over 13 minutes remaining. That means the driver's got to pull a second a lap on him. Chances are, unless a mistake is made, it's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, the leader just needs to stay calm, move on, and come home till the checkered flag waves at this point. We got Bar 27 and Hair Raiser here. These two are battling. We're still going to see a very healthy battle for the final podium spot here today, I think, between Bar 27 and Hair Raiser. So it's going to be which driver makes the least amount of mistakes, takes the best care of their race car, and I think we're going to see a little bit of a showdown here between the two drivers. Bar 27 got that corner wrong there, and he's going to cost himself time. That's going to be Hair Raiser moving up into third place here now. So Bar 27 is going to have to tuck in behind Hair Raiser. And, well, every little mistake matters when you're in a close quarter fight like this. And Hair Raiser's going to grab P3 from Bar 27 with that. Exactly that. That's just that little bit of a mistake he made there. Ash Motorsport here in 5th place. Type R in 6th. We got Pappy in 7th. We've got Supra in 8th. We've got Jakey here in 9th. We've got Brad's in 10th. Mr. Piggy in 11th. And that crew's still looking at that car. So I think that is going to be the end of Pigham's racing day here. It looks like as there is something going on with that Radical in pit lane. And super unfortunate to see, but it happens. Race cars break all the time. Alright, so Doug Burrow in the lead here. 12 minutes to go. We are almost through this thing here today. And the way the race started, I thought we were really in for a good, close battle here. But the drivers very quickly sorted themselves out in the field here today. Alright, we're just setting up for a couple things here. We're nearing the end of the race. Alright, let's go see what's going down. Not a whole lot. Hair Raiser's got a 1.1 second gap on Bar 27 right now. We got Ash Motorsport here in 5th place. We got Type R in 6th. Happy in 7th. Supra in 8th. Jakey here in 9th, and he's got about 30 seconds to Supra. So some of these drivers really just putting in their paces for the race here. Now we got Ash coming up on TMB Brad's here as they navigate the corners there, and Brad's just going to let him go by there. Got Lone Ghost here in 11th, and that's going to put Pigham's down into the bottom of the field here now as again, that crew's still assessing the situation on that racing car. So with just 10 minutes remaining, I don't think we're going to be seeing that car back out on the track here today. Bo Snipe is currently sitting in 2nd place. We got Hair Raiser here sitting in 3rd. We've got Bar in 4th. We've got Ash in 5th. We've got Type R in 6th. We got Pappy in 7th. We've got Supra in 8th. We've got Jakey in 9th. We've got Brad's here in 11th. And we got that yellow flag waving, so there's no passing under yellow. We're not sure where the yellow flag car is. Ooh, and Brad's going to be coming into pit lane here. That's going to be Jakey coming around here. So we're not sure who the driver was that was causing the yellow flag there. As again, with all the dust and the smoke coming across from that car, it was really hard to determine who it was at that moment. But and there we go. We got another driver spinning out of turn 1 there as well. So there's some difficult racing happening here around the racetrack today. Oh, and it's Apex Racing's Jakey getting it wrong there, as he's going to lose a little bit more time on the racetrack here. So, as I said, tough racing here at Big Willow. You get off track, and it just makes for a difficult day. And some of the drivers have experienced that here today without a question of a doubt. But for the most part, drivers have handled it pretty well. We got Doug Barrow here in the lead, 13.7 seconds. We have Bo Snipe here. He's got a 23 second gap on our 3rd place driver, Hair Raiser, who's at this point has opened up a large gap on any competition in behind. So unless something dramatic happens at this point, the podium pretty much decided here, I think. Ash Motorsport, who's just been Mr. Consistent here today, now up into 4th place, just benefiting from all these other drivers making these mistakes. Bar 27 here, and he has lost all kinds of time with whatever mistake he had on the racetrack here. We got Type R in 6th. We got Pappy in 7th. And I think... oh, that's Bo Snipe catching up to him there. We got Supra there in 8th place. We got Jakey in 9th. We got Brad's up at the top 10 here. Ooh, hoo, hoo. And that final corner has really caught a lot of drivers out here today. Lone Ghost here at 11th, and again, looking like that 101 Radical going to be retired here in behind pit wall today, and that's unfortunate. That's going to hurt the point standings going into the final 2 races of the season there, but that still leaves 2 rounds to make up for it here as well. So I don't have the standings on hand. I do have the standings, just not on hand for the stream at the moment, but I can't even speculate how close it is right now. Alright, let's take a look here. We had Happy Pappy look like he was going to make a bit of a mistake there, but it looks like he recovered it, as I don't see any significant time dropping from Supra to Happy Pappy here. So Hair Racer just navigating around Supra here right now. Three-second penalty there for Lone. Well, you know, that happens. I'm not sure what. That must be a pit lane infraction penalty there. But it is Doug 12.7 seconds up the road, so he's giving up a little bit of time to the second place driver, Bo Snipe, but not a whole lot of time. So we got a little cluster happening here. Lone Ghost has just pulled over and gotten out of the way. We got Lone Ghost out of fuel. No. Alright, so we do have Doug. Doug is cruising in first place. Bo Snipe is slowly but surely dripping a little bit of time off him, but with only 6.5 minutes remaining. Probably too little too late at this point, but I mean, anything can happen. Racing is racing, and until the checkered flag waves, it is not over. Hair Racer here in third place. He's just found himself getting around Supra. We got Ash Motorsport here in fourth. Bar is starting to close back up on Ash a little bit here. 2.93 second gap right now. And I think really that's probably the only battle that we really kind of have happening on the racetrack at this point. So, yeah, we're just kind of flipping through, checking things out, seeing what we see, seeing what we can catch here on the rest of the race, and we'll talk to our top 3 guys here at the end of the day. So, Bo here in second, Hair Razor here in third place, Ash Motorsport, Bar 27, Type R, Happy Pappy, Supra, TMB Brads, Doug making a mistake coming out of the corner there. Lone Ghost here in 11th place, and again looking like a retired race car there after that spin into pit lane, maybe picking up some excessive damage coming into pit lane there like that. And it looks like that the crew has just decided to call it a race for that driver here today. So like I said, cars break, it happens. Alright, so Bo is starting to bleed some time, like I said, off the race leader, but with only 5 minutes remaining, it's probably not really enough. All these drivers are navigating some lap traffic as they're going around the racetrack here at this point as well. There's just a lot of things happening here on the racetrack at the moment. Bar 27 is starting to close Ash up here, so now 1.8. So we're going to be monitoring that 4th and 5th place position, probably the majority of the rest of the race here, I think, as it looks like there is a potential battle brewing for that position before race ends here, but we could be wrong. Who knows? Anything can happen. 12 seconds Doug Burrow has on Bo Snipe here currently. We've seen plenty of drivers make those mistakes here today, so anything can happen. We got a yellow flag waving after this final corner here again. It looks like it's Jakey this time, moving slow, coming out of that final corner. Hair Razor here in third place. Ash is 11.8 seconds in behind, but Bar is closing up quickly. So let's stick with Bar 27 here for a minute as he tries to chase down Ash Motorsport there in fourth place. Now, Bar 27 was in an active battle for that final podium position here, and I'm not sure what happened there. Obviously he made a mistake and went off track at some point because it cost him a couple of positions, and now he's just trying to get one of those positions back here as they come around to start lap 43. Now you can really see the weather starting to build here at Big Willow. The clouds are getting big, they're starting to get dark. That means the track is cooling down here. Wind might be starting to factor in. It's at 19.4 feet per second directly east right now. So definitely changing on the track right now, and that could throw some of these drivers off as well. So our race leader coming around with 3:10 to go, so that's going to be 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go, including the lap that he just started there. Bo Snipe coming around here in second place. 12.5 seconds is that gap. Bo to Hair Razor's a 25.8 second gap here now. Ash is 12 seconds in behind Hair Razor, and Bar 27 is coming here in 5th place. So this is the battle we'll stick with here for about 2.5 minutes, and then we'll go watch our race leader come across the start-finish line, of course. But it is Bar 27, so we are on board with our 5th place driver, Bar 27, here, as he has been navigating his way around slowly but surely, doing exactly that. And he's got a run on Ash, and this is going to be it. He's going to take it over on the outside coming into turn 1. He's got the momentum. He's got the slingshot engaged coming into turn 1. But Ash looking to respond here as he takes a look up the inside. But Bar 27 just gets a better run, and it's going to be a 4th place position here for Bar 27. So great job there from Bar 27 here. And side by side as we're coming down the straight into turn 1, I thought maybe that Ash was going to get a run back on him here up the inside, but Bar 27 navigated the corner very, very well, maintained great momentum, and was able to keep the position from Ash Motorsport. This battle may not be over yet, though. There we go. Bar 27 gets it a little bit wrong. He's going to give it right back to Ash Motorsport, and Ash Motorsport's now going to take 4th place back, and Bar 27 is going to settle right back in behind in 5th place, and he has 1.5 minutes remaining to try and get the job done one more time. So super unfortunate there, mistake made by Bar 27, and giving that position right back to Ash Motorsport. And a little show for the cameraman right there as he kicks some dirt up in the cameraman's face as he's coming around. He'll have 1 more to go next time around here. Bo Snipe is 10.8 seconds in behind, so he is closing him up a little bit again. But again, probably a little too late here at this point now. We got Hair Razor in 3rd. We got Bar and Ash battling it back out here. And Bar's going to get it done again and take 4th place back from Ash Motorsport. So again, coming out of the final corner, Bar gets that great run in the slipstream, and he does the exact same thing again coming into turn 1 and gets the job done. So let's see if he can maintain it here now through the next couple sectors. But it is Doug Barrow here as he's just crossed that start-finish line. Bo Snipe's going to come around here. It's going to be final lap for Bo Snipe as well. Hair Razor's coming around here. He's not going to get a final lap here, so it will be a 3rd place finish for Hair Razor as he comes around here this time around. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. He might just squeeze it. He might just squeeze it. We got a yellow flag up ahead here of Hair Razor. We're not sure who that is. There we go. Car's just getting back on track there. And Hair Razor is going to get 3rd place finish here on the race today. So it is Bar 27 and Ash Motorsport nose to tail here for 4th and 5th place. This is going to come down to the run to the start finish line here. Ash is in the slipstream. Can he get close enough? No, it's going to be Bar 27 holding 4th place and Ash in 5th. That was some great racing by those 2 drivers at the end of the race right there. We got Type R coming around here. He's got Brad's just up in front of him here, and then Happy Pappy just in behind. Actually, I think that's Bo Snipe right there. Where is our leader? Our race leader is coming around here right now, so let's make sure we catch him coming around to start finish line. So it is going to be a round 4 win here for Doug Barrow in Radical Supercup here at the GTRC. So congratulations to Doug as we got the rest of the pack coming around. Brad's going for an off-road excursion there. And it's going to be Brad's and Bo and Type R all coming around there. So a 2nd place finish for Bo Snipe and Brad's in 10th. Type R is in 6th. There we go. All right, finishing order. Doug Barrow in first, Bo Snipe in second, Hair Razor in third, Bar 27 in fourth with Ash in fifth, Type R in sixth, Pappy in seventh, Supra in eighth, Jakey in ninth, Brad's in 10th, Lone Ghost finishing here in 11th, and one car behind pit wall here in 12th place here today, and that was a tough race finish for Pigums there today. But it is Doug Barrow with the win here in round 4. So congratulations again to Doug Barrow. And a great race. All right, so that leaves some podium interviews to come up next. We appreciate everybody's support. I know it's been a long, quiet week from GT45 Gaming, but we do appreciate everybody that's come in and hung out with us here today. So it is Doug Barrow. These are unofficial. Of course, now the drivers will have 24 hours to do any incident reporting. The stewards will take a look at it, assess it, issue out their decisions, and then from there the standings will be released. So it is Doug Barrow with the win here today. Bo Snipe in second place. It has Pigums finishing in third place there, but we know that's not right. So, but he does hold fastest lap on the racetrack with a 117.261. So it's Hair Razor in third place, Bar 27 in fourth, Ash Motorsport in fifth, Type R in sixth, Happy Pappy in seventh. It'll be Supra in eighth, Apex Racing's Jakey in ninth. It'll be Brad's in 10th, Lone Ghost will be in 11th, and it'll be Pigums sitting in 12th place. So I'm not sure why the game put that like that, but we know that that's not the way it all worked out in the end. So congratulations to all our drivers on the track. This was a difficult race, very difficult race. So to all the drivers that took the time to pop in, show some love, and put their paces on the track, we appreciate that. 12 drivers started our field here today, 11 finished our race here today, one driver falling into disrepair and having to put the car behind the pit wall with about 3/4 through the race. So I mean, that's racing. Cars break, battles happen, and what do you say? What do you do? It happens. It most certainly happens. Alright, so I believe we need Bo, Doug, and Hair Razor to come in when they've got a chance. We got Hair Razor ready to talk here. We got Doug that just popped in. Our drivers are just, of course, making their way to... I don't know why it's still showing that. I lost my train of thought there. My bad. I apologize. Of course, it does take time to get from... obviously the racetrack to the interview booth where we hold our interviews here. You got excited teammates, everybody's celebrating, lots of things going on. So you always gotta give them a couple of minutes to you know, make the way to where they need to make their way. Alright, so while we wait for interviewees, I just have to take a quick little peek at our little short video here from GTRC. Alright, welcome back everybody. We're just gonna do a couple little click button, a little push here, a little touch there. And we're gonna go talk to our interviewees. So I still see it is Hair Razor and Doug in our box here. So we'll start with our third place finisher. Hair Razor here today. It was an interesting race for this driver. Him and Bar 27 were quite familiar with each other here throughout the race around Big Willow, but Bar 27 just making a few too many mistakes and falling out of that battle for the podium position. And at the end of the race, our top three drivers really had to worry more about the lap traffic than I guess really the next position ahead or in behind them. So beginning of the race was fantastic. Everybody had some great hard-fought battles, and well, I mean, you survived. So standing on the bottom of the podium here today in third place, talk us through your race, my guy. Apparently I was muted the whole time. All right. So my apologies, Hair Razor. I was just explaining to the viewers how you had a pretty uneventful race at the end of the race. There's our top three was fairly spread out, but at the beginning of the race was some pretty great battling. And well, I mean, Willow Springs is Willow Springs. It provides a little bit of sugar and spice here for the viewers. So good racing from you here today. Why don't you talk them through it here? How everything went for you today?
It was a pretty tough race, to be honest. With it being in the desert, if you get your tyres on any of that sand, you do tend to. It takes a whole lap for the sand to wear off, and it's not easy. It's a very demanding circuit. So good job to all drivers involved, really, because they've done a really good job.
Absolutely, and I mean, we all know if you get off the track here at Big Willow Springs, it's not like what you would expect to see from a normal racetrack where the sand is designed to slow the cars down from impact on the wall. And in this case, it's just the track is built in the middle of the desert, and the sand is slippery, and you just slide and slide and slide. So, difficult racetrack. How much of that is always on your mind as you're going around the racetrack, knowing like it could just take one tire touch here and it can absolutely change my race here?
Let me just tell you that every inch of that circuit is concentration. Every lap, every inch, every corner, every car. Just one tire on a little curbing and it flicks you off. Don't concentrate for the next corner or get the braking wrong. You're in, and like you say, there's no walls. You just keep going, which could give you a 15 to 20 second gap from the next car if you go off. So you really have to concentrate.
Absolutely, and one thing we noticed here very early on in qualifying as well was the tire degradation and the fuel consumption on this track here today. Both were fairly aggressive in these cars. So, did you stick to your strategy you had when you came into the race, or did it kind of get altered just based off of how the race went down today?
I was thinking of changing it actually a few laps in because the left front tire was draining really quick, and to go around some of these long sweeping right-handers were just killing my front tire. So I did think about probably pitting every 15 minutes and going in, but I thought I'd try and stick it out because obviously Bar was in position with me as well, and so was Bo at the time. So yeah, it was. So of course I tried to stick to it, and I did. I stuck to it, but good job to Bo and Doug and Pigham there. Good job.
Absolutely, and an unfortunate day for Piggums there as he just got that final corner a little bit wrong, caught out the sand there, and ended up spinning into pit lane. And from there, of course, it looked like the crew determined that there was something wrong with that car and just didn't leave pit lane from there. So, unfortunate day for Piggums, but that is benefit to all the other drivers on track. I mean, race cars break all the time in racing. That's just the way it works. So. It's unfortunate, but that just allows somebody else to pick up the spot. And in this case, it was you and Bo Snipe here tonight. But near the end of the race, you're not really in shot of another position, I guess, unless that driver makes that that big mistake here at Big Willow. So, the last few laps of the race are just kind of more focused on trying to navigate the lap traffic properly and just not make sure you're not making any mistakes at that point.
Yeah, but I do think Pigham did pick up the third place spot, to be honest. I think he did at the last second.
that'll be something that'll need to be discussed with our officials behind the scenes because yeah, I don't know, maybe it was a pick glitch we saw. I'm not sure, but yeah, it says third place on the official standings there as well, but I'm not sure what was going on there. But of course, we'll let our officials sort that out. We just had an update as well just a couple days ago here on the game, and sometimes the updates tend to change things on us without us realizing it as well. So we may have that infamous pick glitch back again where cars are invisible on the racetrack to the spectators. So. But nonetheless, it's still a great race from you, and I guess any final remarks and shout-outs for you, my guy.
Yeah, can I just say good job to the lapping cars? The back markers doing a really good job today. Well done, guys, and to yourself and all the fans watching as well. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and I just want to give a special shout out to TMB Brads. It was his first official league race here at the GTRC. Like I said, new driver here into the community, so we love to see it. And I agree with you. I think that the lap traffic did a very great job at allowing the lead lap cars to get through unscathed and without costing time. So congratulations again on a good race, Hair Razor, and we'll see you next week for round 10 of GT4.
Great stuff. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, mate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Hair Razor always a strong competitor here in the Gran Turismo racing community, whether it is our mini series or the main championship series here. This guy always sitting there in the fight for potential podium positions. So watch out for Hair Razor next week. That GT4, we haven't had a GT4 race happen here in a little while. These racers are definitely going to be ready to rip those cars around the track next weekend. So. But let's keep moving through our field here. We got Bo Snipe. You know, Bo Snipe has been a long-standing member of the GTRC community here. He's had struggles staying connected to lobbies and getting involved with this league racing. And finally, over the last little while, he's been able to get into these races and have no issues in these races. And boy, is his racecraft and his skill really starting to come out and show what he can do. So a solid second-place drive here for you. You were always kind of right there in the battle up front within the top 5-6 drivers right from the get-go. And as the race progressed and things started to settle down, you found yourself sitting in second place. So talk us through your race today, my guy.
Well, I was frustrated after qualifying. Really frustrated. I did not get the lap that I expected to get, so I was pretty frustrated with that. But it took a little while to settle down. But I settled down, got in a rhythm, and then just stayed disciplined so that I stayed on the track. I didn't try to set a fast lap or anything. Just tried to be consistent, be disciplined, and then stick to the strategy. And it worked. It worked really well. I came in behind Bar and Razor on the first stop and came out ahead of them. And then with the clean air and knowing that it seemed like Razor would start to lose tires a little sooner than I would, I just kept my clean air and just and as the run progressed, as that second stint progressed, he started to fall off. I could see the tire, and I just tried to keep my clean air, tried to stay consistent, disciplined to stay on the track because as Razor said, you dip off here and you're going off, and once you get off in that dirt, you're in for the long slide. So it was most important to not dip off the racetrack.
Absolutely, and the one spot that we really seen catch the drivers out here today was that final corner here at Big Willow, that big, long, sweeping corner that takes you down that long straightaway. Lots of drivers getting those driver's side tires out just on the edge of the track of the dirt there, and boy, that caused some complications for quite a few drivers. Some spun, of course, just costing some drivers time, but a lot of position gaining and lost was definitely done in that final corner here today. Was that by far the hardest corner with this car here today, in your opinion?
Yeah, because as you hit the apex, it's hard. It can be difficult to understand your speed and the slide and the tire slide you're going to have as you accelerate out of the corner, and it can catch you off. And and because of the speed you're carrying, by the time you've realized you need to scrub speed, you're in the slide and there's nothing you can do. And once you slide off at that speed, you're along for the ride. And then unfortunately, you're right there at pit road, so you can end up sliding into pit road and cost you quite a bit. But yeah, the final turn, it's probably the one you have to be the most disciplined with and really understand your speed as you approach apex and start to and accelerate out. You really got to really understand, pay attention to your speed and be in tune to the slide you're going to have out of there.
Absolutely, and I mean a lot of guys did a pretty good job at managing getting off track right there on the final corner and just avoiding that infamous pit lane there. But some drivers not so much so, and of course Pickup's being one of those drivers, unfortunately, here today. But nonetheless, still a solid second place finish. You had good pace here today, and it was funny. We said to the viewers at the beginning of the broadcast during qualifying that was definitely uncharacteristic of qualifying coming from you. So you had some work to do, and boy, did you put it in, coming back to a nice solid second place finish. And I mean, you had a 13-second gap to Doug with about 13 minutes remaining. Now, any racer knows that means you need to take a lap off that driver, or have that driver make a pretty sizable mistake to really close that gap up quickly. And of course, we know Doug's a quick driver. So what was going through your mind in second place with 15 minutes remaining? Did you think maybe you had a shot there, or were you just more focused on not making your own mistake at that point?
Yeah, too far out for me to try to make a run at it, and knowing that if I tried, I could end up, costing myself big. So I just stayed disciplined to my race and what I needed to do. I noticed at a point that the gap started to close, so I wasn't sure if maybe he was starting to deal with some fuel issues, or just was the same thing, just making sure he didn't make his own mistakes. So yeah, I just stayed disciplined to what I was doing, to keep me safe.
Absolutely, and I mean, great race from you. We didn't see too many mistakes from you. You kept it pretty mean and clean all the way around the racetrack for for 60 minutes, for 40. What was it,
Yeah,
43 or 44 laps that the front runners
yeah,
put in here? So, I guess with that
yeah.
being said, any final remarks you want to add to that and to your race, and I guess any shoutouts?
Yeah, my finish is a prime example of starting position isn't everything. It is important. You can be upset at yourself for not getting the lap you think you needed, but you just gotta put your head down and focus forward, and realize, understand how long the race is and plenty of time to try to work your way through it. So this is a great example of not giving up, not just throwing in the towel and all that. So. Uh, Certainly, thank you, Ghost, and GT45 Gaming for the stream and the exposure. Appreciate all that you do for our series and for GTRC. Thank you to GTRC as a whole for putting on these series. They are fun. They can be frustrating, but they are fun. And if you can fight through the frustration, you can learn a lot and make yourself better. And thank you to the fans. Thank you to all the fans, for your support and your being a part of this. We enjoy you being here, and we look forward to having you here. So please be sure to tune in, keep watching. And then just on a special note, I suffer from depression, and over the last week or so, I've been fighting a pretty bad bout. But I want to thank Doug and Razor in particular for their support and words of encouragement as I get through this. So special shout out to them for that.
I feel you on that, my guy. I feel you on that, my guy. This hasn't been one of my best weeks either, so
Mm.
I'm glad to
Yeah,
see that you have somebody within the communities to reach out to, or confide in to help you
yeah,
continue to push forward. As sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes everybody needs a little bit of help. That's just the way it goes
yep,
in life. So, really glad to hear
absolutely.
that, and glad to see the communities doing exactly what the community is designed to do, and
Yes,
and and
do. Yep,
be a unit and help pick each other up when we need it. So we
absolutely.
love to hear that, and congratulations on a really great race. And again,
Thank you.
can't
Thank
wait to
you.
see you next week in the GT4s as well, to see rip up the track there. So next
We're looking
weekend,
forward to it.
Bo Snipe will be on track in those GT4s as well, ladies and gentlemen. And
Good to talk to you, Ghost. Take care.
yeah, you betcha. Have a good day. And
Congratulations, Doug, by the way.
and lost my train of thought there for a second. Right. I believe he's leading the championship points on his side of the split there as well in the Pro-Am division, if I'm not mistaken. So I can verify that, obviously, with you guys next week. But definitely looking to lock down a championship here in the GT4 series this season is Bo Snipes. So definitely can't wait to see what he's got in round 10. But that leads us into our eventual race winner here today, and that is Doug Barrow. He qualified first. He pretty much led the whole race and really didn't make too many mistakes here. We've seen him dip those tires into the dirt a few times like most of the other drivers have. In some corners, you almost kind of need to get this car to rotate around it quickly enough. But good solid drive here by Doug Barrow. And before we get into any questions with Doug Barrow, we just had a recent update in the game, and one of the questions that Doug had before the race here today was the tire wear controller versus steering wheel argument. And let's talk about that, Chad. Now, this was something I didn't want to say live on the stream because obviously some of the drivers listen to the stream sometimes, and I didn't want to give away that free information. But at the end of that first stint, and as that first stint was progressing, with Piggums chasing so closely behind Doug Barrow, you would suspect that Piggums would be able to save tires and be in better shape than the first place driver. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, the controller driver actually had the better tire wear in this situation here today. So potentially a little bit of a physics redesign here for our controller players to kind of even it up with the playing field of these steering wheel rig drivers. So just a special note there for Doug, because I know that was something he was thinking about. We were paying attention to it, and his tire wear was actually better than almost anybody in the field here today. So with that being said, congratulations, great racing. That first stint, lots of pressure from Piggums throughout the majority of that first stint. Let's start there. Were you worried about Piggums making a move there, or were you just kind of taking it at things as it was happening at the beginning of the race and worry about what happens near the end of the race?
There was a couple of times in the first stint where I had a bit of a code brown with Piggums looking up the inside on a couple of corners. I thought, I'm done here, but I seemed to manage to get the run out, so I think my entry into those corners were actually okay. It was a semi-defensive line I was using for most of the race, so that seemed to work for me. So it was good. So no, I take it stint at a time rather than look at the end of the race. It's a lap by lap thing around this circuit, definitely. So yeah, that was my goal there. Just watch it lap by lap and see what happens.
Absolutely, and at the beginning of the race, especially for the first 20-25 minutes, the pack separated a little bit, but there was great healthy battles going on right from the top of the field, right down through the bottom of the field. And on a really tough racetrack. I mean, this is a racetrack we don't see in league racing very often here on Gran Turismo 7 because of the nature of this racetrack. But you guys said, let's throw it in there and add some spice into the series, and that it most certainly did. But I gotta say, overall, the overall driving competition on track here today really managed the racetrack very, very well. We know how difficult it can be, and for the most part, everybody did a pretty good job. We had some drivers, flirt with disaster there, but the recoveries were fantastic, and it seemed like you guys really put the work in for the race, and especially you here today. So, I guess now with that little bit of extra information, I'm sure you're going to go back and take a look for yourself at some point. But knowing that your tire wear was actually quite a bit better than some of those top drivers you're used to racing against on their wheels, how does that change your mentality, I guess, moving forward a little bit here?
Well, in these cars, I wasn't too dischuffed with. I had more tyre wear, but I wasn't too dischuffed with it. It wasn't absolutely killing me. So the real test will be next week in the GR4s. Because before the update, I was lucky if I was getting 17 laps and the wheel guys could do 17 minutes. The wheel guys could do 25, 30 minutes and still have tyres, and I'd have nothing left after 17. So the real test is the practice for that to see how they go. But, if it has changed, I'm a bit happier because obviously that's been, especially since the previous update, that's been holding me back, having no tyres to push on when everyone else is still able to push. So we'll see, but I'm happy. But if it has sorted it, I'm happy. I had a great race today. Everybody had a good race. It was unlucky for Piggums, and that it may only be a pitch glitch because of the way he entered the pits. We just don't know. But yeah, no, good race, good fun.
Absolutely. And I mean, the unofficial results do have him placed as third place. So I mean, it's just been something that we couldn't see from my end of things as well. But Of course, we'll let our amazing staff here at the Gran Turismo racing community sort that out behind the scenes. Of course, I'll get with our production crews, and they'll look at angles that we don't have at our immediate disposal, and they'll sort that out for, of course, the finishing order for the standings. So that aside, I mean, you had a great race here. You look good right from start to finish. You look good in qualifying. You know, it's much like most of the drivers in the field. That final corner, it caught you out a few times too, where you found yourself just, you know, arching wide into that sand, but you did a pretty good job at keeping control of it. So, I mean, let's talk about that, okay? We already know this track's difficult. You know, you get out to the outside edges of this racetrack, it's marbly, it's a little sandy, you tend to lose your grip. It can really change the way that corner works out for you. But when you do full on get out into that sand around here, I mean, what's the best thing to do to try and avoid that big spin in the sand?
Don't fully lift off, just partially lift off. Try and keep the wheel as straight as you can, but with just little movements to bring yourself back on circuit. And aim for that. Aim for the straight back on the circuit. You know, it's you're going to bobble across two bits of circuit, but it's better that than try and get back on too quickly and spin. I mean, in that last stint, I was managing the 13, 14 seconds. I was gapping it every now and again, and then making silly little mistakes. So I was losing concentration. But with about, I think I was still 13 seconds ahead with 2 laps to go, 2 minutes to go. And I nearly threw the car off right at the beginning. So it's one of those corners you've really got to concentrate on getting into it right. I mean, if you can get into it right, the exit kind of figures itself out. But it only takes a split part of a second on the throttle too early, and it's going to run you wide. So yeah, that last corner is a definite. You've got to concentrate on your entry. I think that's the main thing. And if there's someone ahead of you, don't get on the power where you normally would, because you're just gonna understeer off the circuit. But I mean, it's great fun for these cars. And Piggy done to me what I'd usually do to him, and that's we're having a good battle, and then he falls off, which is usually the other way around. So no, that corner took a few people. I went fully wide on it once, but just like I said, just lifted slightly, kept the wheels as straight as I could while still trying to get back towards the circuit. And it's one of those fingers crossed, eyes closed moments.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, Bo Snipe's a quick driver, obviously, as well. You know, he has the capability to potentially reel you in if you make that mistake. So, you know, you kept it together, you kept your head down, you kept it right and tight for when it counted the most at the end of the race, and you brought home a big race win here for you. And I mean, you're on a little bit of a roll of mini championship series wins here currently right now. So, still on your mind here as we have 2 more rounds left to go?
More on my mind now than it ever has been, to be fair. It's so close at the top. I mean, with Bo, he's proof that practice works. He's worked so hard with all of us and practiced so much in his own time. Even whilst he was going through his bout, he was still getting on, and it was a way of him. It's escapism, but he's using it in such a positive way. It's brilliant. You know, if it works for him, it works. He's not been joining us. We've been having our little in chat wise, and sometimes not on the track. But he's been using it as his escapism, a way of focusing his mind, and you know, it's brilliant. And I mean, with Ash has finally managed to get into a race with us. Did really well, finished 6th. He's had issues getting in. Brad's with his final race. You know, everybody's got potential to get better, and it's getting so close at the top. You know, so I was very lucky that Jakey had a nightmare, and I picked Piggums by 2 spots, although Piggy stole my fastest lap. And although a couple of times I had the opportunity to get it back, I'd make a silly mistake because I was too focused on that rather than what I was doing. And this track is one of those tracks, like Razor said, you've got to concentrate the whole way through. The last 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes, my concentration wasn't fully there. The last couple of minutes it showed, and then I had to just, you know, I eased right off then. I just eased right off. I'm like, I'm not falling off. I've got 13 seconds here. I'll be fine. Just keep the laps going, you know. So, yeah. Sorry, long-winded answer for that question, but yeah.
we don't mind that. That's why we ask them. If we didn't want an answer, we wouldn't ask the question.
I think I saved you asking about 4 questions though in that.
Oh, I could draw these things out for hours on end. I'm sure there's always so much to talk about in these races. But I mean, let's touch base. Let's finish it off with, I mean, the inevitability of Big Willow Springs when you have a split field of skilled drivers. We have pro drivers, we have pro-am drivers, we had am drivers, and we had rookie or academy drivers, however you want to call them, all on the grid today. And they all put in some great paces here today, and they all had their own great battles in their own rights as well. But I mean, that also relates to lap traffic, blue flag situations. You guys had a lot of situations here on the track today where yellows were being waved, and you had to be very cautious not to pass a positional player at that time. Overall, from our end of things, it looked like everybody handled it really well. So from your point of view as the race leader, I mean, let's talk about the lap traffic. Let's talk about these blue flag situations and these caution situations and how everybody handled that here today in the race.
Well, the blue flag situations, I mean, the guys were brilliant. People were popping in and out of chat to let you know. People popping in and out of chat to say thank you or on your left. And our group seems to have got that nailed down quite well. And even the new guys saw what was going on. They've done plenty of practice with us. So yeah, no, with the blue flag traffic, I think as a group, as a community, we've handled that really quite well from early on, from dot one, and it just keeps getting better. With the more we do it, the more people practice, the more it comes up. People are figuring it out. The yellow flag traffic on this circuit, that's the nightmare. Now, luckily for me, I didn't have to deal with it too much. But it's so easy, especially if you're in a battle. It happened in a practice race. We were in a battle. There's a big old 2 wide through the last bend. I was chasing through it. The 2 cars went bosh. One went off. I luckily got through before the flag, but if I'd have been 5 yards further back, I wouldn't have got through on the yellow flag, and I'd have picked up 3 seconds or whatever it is. So, it's one of those. It can be really quite difficult to play it, but again, the guys seem to handle it really well.
Absolutely. We actually caught a couple of moments. I believe it was Hair Razor and Bar, or Hair Razor and Bo, that came into a situation where a yellow flag waved just as they were in the middle of a battle, and you immediately seen the trailing driver that was trying to get the position just back out, tuck back in behind, and wait till they get through that zone. And that was a great call right there. That's some great racing awareness from the drivers as well, because I myself got caught out in that situation just in Nations Cup this past Wednesday. I passed a driver right at the moment. A driver created a yellow flag and actually picked a 3-second penalty up for that, and it really hurt my race in that particular moment. So the racing awareness, the skill on track from all levels of drivers here has been phenomenal. And I guess with that being said, you have any final remarks towards the race here today, and shout outs?
Well, firstly, shout out, thank you to you and GT45 Gaming for being part of this, and all the work you do on screen, behind the scenes with us. Big part of the community. Thank you. Well done to Bo and Piggy. Unlucky to Razor, because as far as we could tell, right up until his car crossed the line for him, Razor was in third. So it was like, and as he finished on the lead lap, I couldn't get it out then, and Razor finished a lap earlier. Razor didn't get the time. Razor didn't know for 55 seconds that he wasn't in third. That's a lifetime. So it's unlucky to Razor on that one. Big shout out to everybody involved behind the scenes, and to everybody on track, the new drivers that have come in. Suppose I should say a big shout out to the fans, because I don't normally do that because everyone else does. But shout out to everybody involved. Thank you. Great race, and look forward to the next one. Look forward to next week.
Absolutely, GT4 Championship coming up.
People in the grid.
So the Lexus, the big old Lexus here coming from Duckborough. That is, of course, the car he's driving here next week in the GT4.
My Lexus is called Kato.
Well, there we go.
After Kato from the Pink Panther, because it just always jumps out of nowhere and tries to kill you.
So it'll be interesting to see this tire wear factor in for next week's race as well. It does seem like that they've kind of balanced that out a little bit. So if that is the case, that is going to change league racing all across the board here in GT7, not just at the GTRC, but all across the platform, because there are plenty of controller drivers out there. And the one struggle that they have when tire wear is a factor is exactly that. The tire wear is just a little aggressive. So with that being said, hopefully, fingers crossed, we
Yeah,
see
fingers crossed.
that old dog burrow coming into our GT4 series and really putting that pressure on those guys running up front. But great racing, of course, and you're one of the administration staff here at the GTRC, and what you guys are building here is fantastic. And we see on a day-to-day basis the great things that happen behind the scenes with the community, reaching out and helping each other, and it seems like that's been ever more apparent now than it has been here, especially over the last few months or weeks. So just a huge shout out to the GTRC community and all our members here today. You guys are stepping up big time and doing what this community is all about, and that's picking each other up and being a family. So much love to you and your staff for everything you're doing here. The direction is fantastic here, and we really enjoy working with you guys.
Thank you. And thank you for being part of our dysfunctional family, man. Appreciate it.
Well, hey, dysfunction or function is still functioning. That's all that matters, right, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. But appreciate a great win here for you tonight, and definitely can't wait to see how those standings shake out here once that's all sorted out at the end of the week here. But we'll see you next week, and as always, thank you for taking some extra time to come and chat with us here today.
No problem, mate. You're always welcome. Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good interviews as always. I mean, these guys are top level when it comes to the interviews. Great answers, great responses from the drivers, and well, hey, we're going to touch base on it. We don't talk about it enough, I don't think, in all honesty. We got Nolander coming in with the like, we got Matt Amel coming in with the share and the like on the stream as well. I want to talk about legends in the chat. There are some legends up in the chat there right now. Leo coming in with the heart on the stream as well. Let's talk about that. I mean, mental health is a real thing for everybody at home, everybody out there watching and listening, or is going to watch and listen. It's a real thing, and it doesn't take much for somebody to fall into that category of mental health, whether it be depression or anger or maybe an addiction, whether it be a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. Mental health is real, and now just being recognized, especially on the men's side of things. So Bo Snipe coming out and just being very openly honestly, and he's a very honest individual, saying thank you for the help from his community. I myself, my mental health has not been that strong this week. I've been going through some stuff here as well in real life, and thank you to my community for being there to pick me up, because we need that, and that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want you all to know that you're not alone. You're never alone. All you got to do is say, hey, you got a minute, and I am all yours. I will sit here and listen to you for hours if that's what it takes for you to just feel a little bit better about the situation that you're going through. And it's perfectly confidential. It'll never get brought past that as well. So just know that our sim racing communities and families are out there for us. You're not alone. Don't think you're alone. Reach out. Somebody is there to help you. And although you might feel a little bit embarrassed, or you might feel a little awkward talking to somebody about your situation, I promise you will feel better about it at the end of the day. And sometimes a little bit of outside insight is all you need to make that change back in a positive, progressive, forward motion. I appreciate every single one of the viewers here at GT45 Gaming over the last 2 years, and as we continue to move forward. It's a battle, it's a struggle, it's a journey, it's an adventure, and I'm just blessed to be a part of so many great sim racing communities, being a broadcaster, and can't thank these communities enough, because they really do amazing things behind the scenes. And we're going to touch up on that a little bit here in the near future. We're going to do a special episode here on the stream eventually. We're going to talk about all those things that happen behind the scenes of the sim racing communities, the things that these community members do for each other, and not only each other, but the community. It's a really great thing happening here in sim racing and esports and in the streaming content creating world. And with all those three things working in absolutely beautiful unison, we're changing the world one person at a time through sim racing. And that's all because of every single viewer, every single racer, every single person who's just involved in their communities. And for that, I thank all of you, because you've made me a better person because of it. And now my goal is to change every one of your lives for the better as we move forward. I appreciate you all. Stay winning. And remember, most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you all matter. And our doors are always open here at GT45 Gaming. Hey, Madam Al, how you doing, darling? We hope you're well. We're going to send this off with a little bit of tunes here, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be back live a little bit later today for some Nations Cup racing, I think. I think we're going to broadcast our Nations Cup today. So stay tuned for a little more content coming from GT45 Gaming here today. We appreciate y'all. We really, really, really do appreciate the viewers. Can't do it without y'all. And I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm fantastic, Mel. I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic because of a great community. Alright, the stream held up pretty good today. We've had a couple of blips in it, but overall, it worked. So that's a plus. We're moving in the right direction again. And I do appreciate everybody's patience. Again, content will be coming back full swing here now that we've got things sorted back out. And again, if you haven't heard, go to Twitch, search at GT45 Gaming, and throw me a follow over there, because we're going to start doing our Ghost at Dark content on our Twitch channel here as well. So we appreciate y'all. Again, thank you for everybody tuning in. This is a family-friendly broadcast if you're watching it later, and it is safe for the kids, of course, to enjoy and partake and watch. 1 hour endurance race at Big Willow was on the docket here today, and Doug Burrow, Bo Snipe, and apparently Pigham's coming in the top 3 here today. And congratulations to all 3 of those drivers. So with that being said, obviously there's some new bugs and glitches working on in the game since the update. We'll have to get on that and sort that out, but we'll be back either later today or tomorrow for some more live fast action content here from GT45 Gaming. Again, this was presented by the Gran Turismo racing community and was round 4 of 6 rounds of our Radical Supercup series. That means our championship seasons are coming near an end here for the first set of championships this season here at the GTRC. Stay tuned next week for our GT4 Championship round 10 official race points race this weekend, next weekend coming, and we'll be live on the comms here at GT45 Gaming. Ciao for now.